We have 3 huge opportunities ahead of us here in Season 3 of the Everton Takeover rebuild. Not only do we have a chance to progress to the next stage of the FA Cup, but we also have one last opportunity to add to the squad ahead of the closure of the January transfer window, before finally we have the opportunity to leapfrog Manchester United in the Premier League. The new signings we've made in the window thus far also have opportunities to impress here again today. Allan Saint-Maximin has had a fantastic start to his Everton career with a goal and an assist already in just 2 games. And whilst we're unlikely to see Kevin Danso appearing in those kinds of stats lists, he's been a solid addition at the back. And with his addition, we've immediately gone from shipping goals, 2 against Augsburg, 2 against Leeds, 3 against Chelsea, to keeping a clean sheet against Newcastle and conceding just 1 goal against Fulham and 2 against Arsenal's high-powered attack. So Kevin Danso will keep his place at the back in our first game of today's episode. Allan Saint-Maximin, however, drops into the reserves. Assane Diao moves back over to that right-hand side to make room for De La Feu, whilst Lewis Dobbin comes into the side. Ben Godfrey and James Justin also come into the back 5. The first half was a cagey affair with chances few and far between. This one that Fulham worked for Omar Marmoush was probably the best opportunity they had of the first half. It went narrowly wide, and we managed to work a similar opportunity just before half time. This shot from James Garner being parried away from the edge of the box. That was probably our best opportunity, at least until we managed to get ourselves on the score sheet from the resulting corner. Kevin Danso, free header on the edge of the 6-yard box. He's going to make no mistake from there. And Kevin Danso, like Allan Saint-Maximin, already opens his account for Everton. So we did go into the break 1-0 up, and in the second half, we really took control of the game and dominated. Lewis Dobbin showed some flashes, cutting in off the left-hand side this time. Just leaning back a bit on his shot, though, and lifted it over the bar. But it would only take Anton Stack 10 minutes or so into the second half to double our leads. This goal was made by Assane Diao, though. We worked the ball really nicely down the right-hand side. A really good passing move. But Diao beat Anthony Robertson and crossed into the box for Anton Stack to head home. Another really nice passing move led to Assane Diao setting De La Feu free, and he fired a shot across the goalkeeper and into the far corner to make it 3-0. And then this just put the icing on the cake. Bertrand Traore crossing into the box. The Fulham goalkeeper and centre-backs all at odds with each other. Took several bounces off several Fulham players. I think each of them had a touch there before it ended up in the back of the net to make it 4. So really, really impressive performance. And it does see us go through to the next round of the FA Cup, where hopefully a slightly easier draw will await us. We're already playing fellow Premiership opposition just in round 3, and we're actually going to have back-to-back FA Cup games to begin the episode here, because the next round has been scheduled already. And indeed we do have a slightly easier fixture, as we're matched up with Huddersfield in round 4. And it looks like a lot of big clubs are already out of the competition. Man United versus Spurs is one of the matchups. Chelsea are still in the competition, along with Liverpool and Arsenal. But those are really the only top 4 to 6 clubs that are still in the competition, and 2 of them play each other in Manchester United and Spurs. So if we are going to win a trophy in this series, this may be the year to do it, and the FA Cup might be the competition to do it in. So with that adjustment to the fixture schedule, Manchester United will remain our featured game of the episode, but we will be seeing highlights of this Huddersfield game rather than our home match against Leicester in the Premier League. So some big decisions for Graham Potter to make ahead of this one, with that Manchester United game looming. So it is a heavily rotated 11 with Festi, Ebasele, Noah Mbamba, Isaac Toure all coming into the back line. Maxim de Kuyper regains his place at left wing back. Scott McTominay comes into the midfield alongside James Garner. And it's going to be Reiss Nelson, Assane Diao and Luca Waldschmidt, the front 3. Lewis Ferguson, having been back in training for a couple of weeks now, does find a place on the bench. We got off to a much quicker start in this one. Assane Diao up to his old tricks, cutting in off the right-hand side, firing a left-footed shot at goal. But this one was parried away well by Lee Nichols. We were on the scoreboard less than 20 minutes into the game, though. Reiss Nelson dropping the ball into the path of Luca Waldschmidt. He took one touch, slotted the ball past Lee Nichols in the Huddersfield goal for the finish. And less than 5 minutes later, Luca Waldschmidt had his second. Reiss Nelson again involved, but this time Maxim de Kuyper pulling it across to the striker inside the penalty area. Again, a right-footed shot, again tucked into that far corner. 2-0 Everton. From there, we really did control the game. Everton made a nice driving run down the right-hand side, found himself in the penalty area, really with nobody to pull it back to. He didn't need anybody, though. He cut inside and slotted a tidy left-footed finish past the Huddersfield goalkeeper. It was such good play that I thought it was Assane Diao until I saw Everton's name pop up. Huddersfield didn't give up the fight, to be fair to them. They did try and work back into the game in the second half and forced a couple of saves from Jordan Pickford. We defended well, though, and held Huddersfield, for the most part, to shots from the edge of the box or shots through a crowd of bodies. Jordan Pickford, most of the saves he had to make were fairly comfortable. This one was even going wide. But Huddersfield did manage to grab a goal late. It would prove to be nothing more than a consolation, but it was a good finish from Scott High. Nothing Jordan Pickford could do about that one. But it was a half-empty stadium at this point. Huddersfield 3-1 down. The game long gone. So we do progress through to the next round. I just saw on the list of results that Manchester United and Spurs drew. So they'll be playing a replay. Chelsea, however, got absolutely smashed 4-1 by Bournemouth. And it looks like James Garner also got absolutely smashed during the game. He's picked up an injury that's going to see him off the field for a couple of months. And indeed, we will be without James Garner for the majority of the remainder of the season. So it's a good job that Lewis Ferguson is back fit. But before we advance to our featured game of the episode against Manchester United, we do have the closure of the January transfer window to get to. I don't think James Garner's injury means that we need to make a move for a centre midfielder. We still have Anton Stack and Scott McTominay. We have Josh Da Silva and Lewis Ferguson on the bench. And we even also have Noah Mbamba, who is capable of stepping up and playing a defensive role in midfield. And Lewis Ferguson is actually down to a 77 overall. So like Jack Harrison in Season 1, like Joachim Anderson in Season 2, that injury really taken its toll on Ferguson. I also don't think we need to make a move for a striker after all, because Matheus Cunha will be back in just 3 weeks' time. We've seen Gerard Deulofeu playing well even at 31 years of age, and Luka Waldschmidt has been arguably a contender for signing of the season alongside Anton Stack, since we did pick him up for free. Waldschmidt currently has 6 goals and 2 assists through 21 games, which is not a bad tally at all. 3 of those goals and 1 assist came in the Premier League, 1 and 1 in the Europa League, and 2 goals in that last game in the FA Cup. So I think we'll just stand pat here on transfer deadline day. We'll field any offers that might come in for our players, but I'm certainly not looking to sell. And I think we have enough depth and quality in the squad to achieve our goals this season. So a handful of offers did come in for Jordan Pickford, for Assane Diao, for James Justin, but they were all ones that we could comfortably reject. And January transfer deadline day passes without any business conducted by Everton. And that does bring us to our featured game of the episode. Manchester United currently sit 2 places and 2 points above us in the Premier League, and you would have to think they're going to be one of our primary rivals if we are going to make European competitions in back-to-back seasons. So we've rested players against Huddersfield with this match in mind, because we know how tough a test it's going to be going to Old Trafford. Andre Onana starts in goal for Manchester United. Mazraoui, Upamecano, Mancini and Hernandez, the same back 4 from last time we played them, I believe. Tchouameni and Casemiro, the pairing in those defensive midfield roles. Anthony Fernandez and Sancho just in front of them, and Kolo Muani starts up front. I think this might be the exact same 11 from last time we played Manchester United. As for Graham Potter, Lewis Ferguson again finds a place on the bench, but Jordan Pickford starts in goal. A back 5 of Nathan Patterson, Kevin Danzo, James Tarkowski, Arnel Ahmedhodzic and Maxim Dekaipa should be the best possible balance of height and strength and pace and youth and experience. Scott McTominay starts in midfield against his old club alongside Anton Stack. Alain Saint-Maximin returns to the side for the first time in this episode. Assane Diao joins him in support of Gerard Deulofeu up front. So without further ado, let's head over to Old Trafford and see if we can leapfrog Manchester United and climb the table a little bit closer to those European places. So we are up in the commentary box at Old Trafford for this one. Really, really important game in our Premier League campaign. And we've been really putting things together in recent weeks. Hoping to do that again here today and come away from Old Trafford with a victory. It wouldn't be the first time in this series that we have come away from Old Trafford with all 3 points. But it's a tough place to go. And we, I imagine, have a tough game ahead of us. Scott McTominay starts against his old club in midfield. He's been a really good addition to the side this year. The majority of our signings this season have really been working out for us. Anton Stack has been excellent. Scott McTominay has been a really good addition to the side, as Bruno Fernandes has a chance to get a shot away for the first time in the game. Maxim de Kuyper does well to deal with it, and Alan Saint-Maximin comes away on this left-hand side. Saint-Maximin, another player who looks like he could prove to be a really good addition for us. Cuts inside, shoots from range with his right foot straight at Andre Onana. What an impact Alan Saint-Maximin has made on the squad in the handful of games that he's been able to play for us so far. Gerard De La Feu, another player who's been an excellent signing. Luca Waldschmidt on a free has been a solid role player for us. Poor pass there, however. And we see possession to Kolo Muani and Manchester United. He looked dangerous when we played them last time, Kolo Muani. So we'll have to try and keep him under wraps today. Chouameni as well, an excellent player. He's looked really good in Manchester United red, as he slips the ball through to Kolo Muani. Beats Ahmed Hodzic. James Tarkowski comes across to deal with it, and deal with it he does. Maxim de Kuyper up ahead of him, and we will retain possession. Anthony, though, pressing to try and force a mistake from the left back. Good to have Maxim de Kuyper back in the side. Really, really missed him while he was out. Definitely noticed his absence. Not just across the back 5. And in fact, James Justin is probably a slightly better defender than Maxim de Kuyper. But we definitely missed him going forward. He's such a dynamic player with the ball at his feet. That's got to be a handball in there, is it not? Usually when you try those lofted passes in behind and the opposition block it, more often than not it's with their hand. Anthony. Kolo Muani with another good run in behind, but instead he finds Mazraoui. This was something that we noticed in the last Manchester United game as well. Particularly on this right-hand side, they committed players forward. And we've seen it there with Mazraoui. The pass just behind De La Feu, but he does manage to collect. Hassan Diao making a slow and laboured run in behind. But I think we are going to be able to really exploit Manchester United on that right-hand side if they continue to commit players forward down that particular flank. Because we have the pace of Alan Saint-Maximin who can exploit them in behind. And again, Mazraoui is the most advanced player for Manchester United on this right-hand side. We know in real life as well, Anthony is reluctant, let's put it, to track back and help out his fullbacks. I'm not necessarily sure that we'll see it play out that way here today. We saw there that Anthony was willing to track back and challenge Saint-Maximin. But I think that's going to be our primary method of attack today. Hitting Manchester United on the quick counters down the right-hand side with the pace of Alan Saint-Maximin. Maxim de Kuyper. Saint-Maximin inside him. Ahmed Hodzic though. Tarkowski. Tarkowski continues to play a big role for us. I thought we would see him kind of eased out of the squad at some point, especially with the addition of Joachim Andersen. But Tarkowski has somehow actually outlived Joachim Andersen at Goodison Park. Of course, Andersen had that torn ACL in his first season, which pretty much wrote off his entire first season as an Everton man. And in the half season that he has played for us here in year 2 of his Everton career, he's not been anywhere near the player that A, he was formerly, and B, that we were hoping he would be when we signed him. So Tarkowski actually keeps his place and continues, despite his age, to be an influential member of the squad. Anton Stack could have played the ball in behind for Maxim de Kuyper, instead decided to hold on to it. or to attempt to hold on to it anyway, but dispossessed by Manchester United. Anthony inside to Casemiro. Mazraoui once more in an advanced position. Nicely worked by Manchester United though. Into the feet of Kolo Muani. And what a finish that is. We said he looked dangerous in the last game. We didn't see anything close to that when we last played Manchester United. And the home team does take the lead. And there's not much really we can say, except potentially Tarkowski should have closed down the Manchester United striker. But as you can see there, Ahmed Hodzic came across and tried to make the block. So you can't blame James Tarkowski for sitting off just a little bit. And that was just a nicely worked move from Manchester United to find Kolo Muani in space. And an incredible finish that Jordan Pickford can do nothing about. So I don't think we should feel too... That's a poor pass, Kevin Danzo. That is a rare moment that we haven't really seen from Kevin Danzo so far. He's not only been an excellent defender for us, but he's been excellent in possession as well. But he's given the ball away there and allowed Manchester United into the box. And it's a fantastic save from Jordan Pickford that prevents Manchester United from taking a 2-goal lead. Really good save from the Everton captain, diving away to his left-hand side. And just as I was about to say we shouldn't feel too downhearted by the goal, suddenly we start to implode and invite pressure where we really shouldn't be and where we weren't before. So let's try and get a grip of this game once more, try and impose ourselves going forward a little more. And I think we are going to be just fine in this game. Maybe 1-0 down relatively early, but I still fancy us to get something out of this. Alan Saint-Maximin in towards Stack. Dale Fayu on the edge of the box. It was actually Scott McTominay challenging for the header. Anton Stack strikes from range, but it's blocked by Manchester United. Assane Diao, do not give that as a handball. The referee was happy to wave play on, but the linesman vigorously waving his flag on the far touchline. And I don't understand how you can give that as a handball. I didn't even see it hit his hand, but even if it did, it's bounced off a thigh under duress from the Manchester United man. And Kevin Danzo manages to win the ball back, but I've pressed the tackle button just as he did so, and he ends up passing the ball straight out of play for a corner. Delivered into the box where Maxim de Kuyper wins the header. Really good header from a player you don't expect to be heading the ball away from corners. Good challenge, Nathan Patterson. Anton Stack. Alan Saint-Maximin in an advanced position on this left-hand side. Maxim de Kuyper nicely worked with Anton Stack, but the pass an errant one as he tried to get it back into the feet of our wing-back. Anthony going backwards rather than towards our goal. Good challenge, Maxim de Kuyper, and he does win the ball back from Anthony. Superb challenge. Anton Stack, big switch of play into Assane Diao. And he's given a handball again. That's twice in quick succession. Assane Diao gets punished for controlling the ball. Must have bounced up off his foot and onto his hand, and Manchester United have been bailed out there because we had Nathan Patterson running in behind, and that was an excellent opportunity to create something. It's Assane Diao, the man running in behind this time, along with Scott McTominay. But we have to go backwards to Kevin Danzo and then to James Tarkowski, and eventually work it across to Maxim de Kuyper. Alan Saint-Maximin with the ball through. Is he onside? He's not. That must have been close. Really good ball from Saint-Maximin just to thread the needle there. And that is incredibly close. He's offside by his elbow and his foot. And I've said it numerous times. I'll say it again. Bring back the idea of level. Alan Saint-Maximin is level there. And in those situations, the attacker should get the benefit of the doubt. Good challenge, Anton Stack. Dale Fayu. Quickly surrounded by Manchester United men, but does well to turn out of it and find Nathan Patterson. Assane Diao at the near post. Can he get his header across goal? No, he can't. And then the rebound from Deulofeu bobbles harmlessly wide. It was a poor strike. Didn't really get the contact on it that he was hoping for. And it is just going to go tamely out for a Manchester United goal kick, which Andre Onana will take. Takes it short. And Deulofeu can press Upamecano here. And so Maximan can do the same to Mazraoui, but he does manage to find Anthony just before we get in for the tackle. Alassane Maximan wins the ball back though. Anton Stack, Scott McTominay, Nathan Patterson on this right-hand side. McTominay once more. And runs the ball out of play. Just took the ball towards the touchline there, really, when it would have been more sensible to turn back inside. That's where the space was on that particular occasion. Fernandes finds Tchouaméni. Anton Stack for company, but he does find Kolo Muani. Poor pass from Bruno Fernandes. Allows us to regain possession into the feet of Assane Diao. And there's Scott McTominay. And there is, I think, Kevin Danso making a run forward from his centre-back position. I've seen that once or twice. I don't think he has a high attacking work rate, but he is not shy in getting forward, Kevin Danso, when he sees the opportunity. We're going to put the ball into the Manchester United box here with Nathan Patterson. And Manchester United head it away comfortably. James Tarkowski, though, finds Kevin Danso to recycle, but Danso, not having his best game, gives the ball away. This really isn't reflective of what we've seen of Kevin Danso so far in the games that I've been playing. You obviously haven't really seen highlights of his play, because the highlights tend to be of goal-scoring opportunities for us. Occasionally they will be of goal-denying opportunities, but those tend to be saves from Jordan Pickford rather than, you know, last-ditch tackles. But Kevin Danso has been excellent so far, and he's not showing that so far today. But he'll look to bounce back in the second half and put in a slightly better performance. We, as a team, will look to do the same. But aside from Kolo Muani's fantastic goal and the brief spell of a couple of minutes after that where we kind of lost our heads a little bit, it's been a very even first half. And as I said earlier on, I certainly think we can still take something from this game. We've actually edged possession. Manchester United with a few more passes attempted, but like the Fulham game at the start of this episode, a fairly cagey first half. So back out for the second half here at Old Trafford. Looking to get on the score sheet to level things up. Looking to avoid conceding a second goal. That's going to be the primary focus, but Sancho immediately beats Nathan Patterson. Not once, but twice. Can't beat him a third time, but it does fall to Kolo Muani, the ball. Crosses into the box and cleared initially by Anton Stack, but only as far as a Manchester United man, and Kevin Danso does eventually put the ball into a safe area. But it is going to be a throw-in for Manchester United. Assane Diao can't quite win the ball back. Upamecano drives across the field and finds Tchouaméni. Maxim de Kuyper with another really good challenge on Anthony, and if Maxim, that's not his name, Alassane Maximan, can get him behind, then Maxim de Kuyper could potentially have found him. Mazraoui was quick to cover the run of Sam Maximan though, and we give the ball harmlessly back to Manchester United once more. Nathan Patterson facing down Hernandez, who is in an equally advanced position as Mazraoui had been in that first half here on the left-hand side. Kolo Muani parried away by Jordan Pickford. Not sure why I'm getting so many names confused here today, but Anthony comes off to make way for Mason Mount early here in the second half. So a little bit less of a threat down that right-hand side, I would say. Mason Mount really more of a central attacking midfielder than a real winger. And less pacey than Anthony as well. Less dynamic on the ball. Anton Stack, can he get there? No, he can't. Sancho does ahead of him. Scott McTominay steps up, can't win the challenge. Sancho again facing down Nathan Patterson. Really nice ball in behind for Fernandez. Nathan Patterson can't prevent him from finding Hernandez. And Sancho into the box where Kevin Danzo meets him. Slows Sancho down, but can't win the ball back. Nicely worked, Manchester United. We're doing a good job of just holding them off outside the area here, and we do manage to force the ball back to Casemiro. Really good defending. So well worked by Manchester United, though. What a goal. What a goal. And just as I was talking down Mason Mount and saying he wouldn't be as much of a threat, he does find himself in a central position and he doubles the lead for Manchester United. Another really good goal. We defended that fairly well, I thought. Didn't really have a clear opportunity to get rid of the ball. And we did well just to hold Manchester United off and force them backwards rather than into the box. But eventually, they do manage to find a little bit of space inside the penalty area. Jordan Pickford comes out and tries to make one of those sprawling saves that have been his trademark this season, really. But it's a really tidy finish from Mason Mount. And we have failed in our primary objective here in the second half, which was to avoid conceding the second goal. And we are going to have to score twice as many now to get back level and get anything from this game. And we failed really to create any clear-cut opportunities so far, I would say. Scott McTominay, though, may have a clear opportunity here as he steals the ball away. Can he beat Andre Onana? And he hits the ball straight at him. Clearest opportunity of the game by far. Unfortunately, it was Scott McTominay that the opportunity fell to. And he's not exactly the kind of player we would want in that situation. But he is the kind of player that can win the ball back. Scott McTominay with the header. Goes wide. He is a danger in the air, just like James Tarkowski. But it was a poor header this time. Harmlessly wide. And an hour into the game, things are not looking good here. I think we're going to have to step into our attacking game plan. But I don't like what that could do for Manchester United in terms of their ability to get in behind us. Alan Saint-Maximin finds Scott McTominay once more, but he gives the ball away. And we just don't have the players forward to match Manchester United on defence. Nathan Patterson can't quite steal it away. Again, we force the ball back. Jadon Sancho finds Hernandez. Back to Sancho. Good challenge, Kevin Danzo. And Hassan Diao is going to be able to hit Manchester United on the quick break this time. Can he beat Mancini in behind? Finds Dale Afeyu on the turn. Gets it all wrong. Sliced. Not even towards goal, really. Looked almost like a pass across the penalty area. Really, really poor from Dale Afeyu. Did so well. He did all the hard work, which was to kind of roll the challenge of the Manchester United defender and find a bit of space to get a shot away. We're going to step up into our attacking game plan here and make a couple of changes before Nathan Patterson takes this throw. It's actually just going to be the one change for Graham Potter and Everton here. Scott McTominay to leave the field, replaced by Lewis Ferguson. Just trying to put a bit more creativity into the middle of the park. Try and pick the lock of the Manchester United defence here in this second half. Hassan Diao gets a jump on Hernandez. Hernandez not the slowest, so he's going to be able to keep up with Diao. At least he would, if his fitness would have allowed him to. But Hernandez, because he's been up and down that left-hand side so often today, looks like he's really struggling. That allowed Hassan Diao to get away from the Manchester United left-back. Crossed in towards Alan Saint-Maximin, but the header goes wide. Lewis Ferguson Finds Nathan Patterson, and again we'll get a cross in. Again towards Alan Saint-Maximin at the back post. This time he finds the back of the net. And we do have a goal. 2-1 Manchester United, but we are back in this game. As is so often the case when the score is 2-0, the next goal is the most important one. If the team with the lead scores it, it puts the game beyond all doubt. But if the team who is behind scores it, as we have done here, suddenly the game is there for the taking once more. And Alan Saint-Maximin has had a fantastic start to his Everton career. And he's on the scoreline again here to get us back into this game at Old Trafford. 20 minutes to go. The ball played straight to Anton Stack. And there's Lewis Ferguson, turns away from Casemiro. Could potentially have found the run of Hassan Diao in behind there, but instead just retains possession and finds Alan Saint-Maximin on the opposite side of the field. Maxim de Kuyper into the Manchester United box. And was that not blocked and out for a corner? It looked as though the referee was indicating a throw-in, a goal kick rather. And Hernandez does leave the field. Very much struggling at left back in terms of his stamina. But he is replaced by Raphael Varane, which is a curious change from Erik ten Hag. Varane incredibly slow. Or maybe not incredibly slow. Maybe that's a bit harsh. But certainly not pacey enough to be dealing with Hassan Diao at left back. We have to get across and block this. Ahmed Hodzic eventually does. And James Tarkowski can clear in the direction of Saint-Maximin on this left-hand side. Can't quite win the ball away from Manchester United, nor at the second time of asking. Kolo Muani works the ball into the feet of Mason Mount, but Anton Stack there to make the challenge. And we need to try and find Hassan Diao as quickly as possible, because Raphael Varane, whilst an excellent defender, is not the man that you want matched up on Hassan Diao. He's done well to deal with him there, though. He's going to have a strength and a size advantage over Diao, but Diao's going to have the speed and the agility advantage over Varane. We're going to have to win the ball back if we are going to punish Manchester United, though. Jadon Sancho not managing to find his man, and Nathan Patterson does win the ball back. And there's Dale Afeyu. Upamecano coming across to deal with him, and he does manage to put in the challenge. Potentially Dale Afeyu should have just been taking the shot on with his right foot there. It was a good angle for the Manchester United goalkeeper, though. And Upamecano was coming across to close him down, so can't blame Dale Afeyu too much for cutting it, or attempting at least to cut it onto his left foot and find the far corner. Good challenge, James Tarkowski, to force the Manchester United man wide. But Kolo Muani does manage to carry the ball into the Everton box, rather. Kevin Danso makes the block, and it goes out for a Manchester United corner. Tchouameni's going to leave the field. I think Graham Potter with a couple of changes to make here as well. So 2 more substitutions for Graham Potter, as Gerard Deulofeu and Anton Stack leave the field. Josh Da Silva comes on to replace Stack. Just some fresh legs in the centre of the park to try and take advantage of Manchester United. And then Reece Nelson has come on to replace Gerard Deulofeu. So Hassan Diao steps up into that central position. Lewis Ferguson sets Maxim de Kuyper away just about. And that's a run in behind from Hassan Diao, but the pass comes too late. And he was in an offside position. Too much on it anyway, and it runs through harmlessly to Andre Onana. Casemiro finds Raphael Varane at left back. Reece Nelson is now going to be the man to try and take advantage of Raphael Varane. And he's going to have even more pace about him than Hassan Diao himself, because Reece Nelson, of course, has fresh legs. What a ball that is. Out to Mason Mount on the right-hand side. Maxim de Kuyper tucking in But worked well into the feet of Larson. Kolo Muani. Easy save for Jordan Pickford from the tame shot from Jadon Sancho. And Nathan Patterson carries the ball all the way up to the halfway line. But nobody making a run in behind there or taking up a position to receive the ball. And Reece Nelson crosses in towards the back post. Hooked clear by Manchester United. And then headed clear by Casemiro. Into the feet of Fernandes. Larson lays it across to Mazraoui. We may even have to step up into our ultra-attacking game plan for these last few minutes of the game because we are chasing the equaliser. But it's Manchester United in possession with Kolo Muani. Good challenge, Kevin Danzo. He's had a much better second half than he did first. Saint-Maximin. Reece Nelson in behind. I believe he's onside. And he is going to beat Raphael Varane to the ball. Carries it into the Manchester United box. Reece Nelson finds Maxim de Kuiper at the back post. He doesn't. The Manchester United defender just gets a little touch on the ball with his head. Just enough to knock it clear of Maxim de Kuiper. Can somebody please get in a position to receive this throw-in? Josh Da Silva gives it straight to Mason Mount. Just trying to lay it back into the path of Maxim de Kuiper. Andre Onana in trouble though. Finds Upamecano. And we're not going to win this ball back before these 4 minutes of injury time have elapsed. Mason Mount. Speak too soon. Josh Da Silva. Maxim de Kuiper. Plenty of players in the box to aim for. Can he find Diao at the back post? Nodded away by Rafa Varane. And Josh Da Silva can't find an Everton man with the header. And with seconds left on the clock, it looks like it's going to be a Manchester United victory here at Old Trafford. Fernandes. And the referee's whistle goes. And we can't manage to find a second goal. Manchester United do come away with a 2-1 victory. And they will not only maintain their lead ahead of us in the Premier League table, but extend that lead. Wasn't a bad performance. A couple of moments of real quality from Manchester United. Gave them a 2-goal lead. A moment of quality for us as well, to be fair, as Saint-Maximin grabs the goal back, but it's not enough to get anything from the game. So a disappointing result, but I don't think we can be too downhearted by the way that we played. I thought we put in a decent enough performance at Old Trafford, which is a very tough place to go. Manchester United are a very good team, and we have been defending much better in the last couple of weeks and the last handful of games at the very least. And it was 2 moments of quality that won the game for Manchester United. For once, we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. We didn't give the game away. So with that, Manchester United rise all the way to 4th position in the table, clinging on to a Champions League spot, level on points with Arsenal and West Ham. We remain on 31 points, just a point behind Brentford in 8th, 3 points behind Newcastle in 7th, and then 5 points behind those 3 teams who currently occupy 2 of the 5 European places. And we can at least end the episode on a high with the news that Matheus Cunha is now able to return to first team training sessions. So we'll head into the next episode with the prospect of Alan Saint-Maximin, Assane Diao and Matheus Cunha being our front 3. 4 games to get to in that next episode as it stands. However, there are still FA Cup replays being played, so an FA Cup fixture may appear. For now, we've got 4 games on the agenda, all in the Premier League. Leicester City at home, West Bromwich Albion away, Spurs at home, and then West Ham at home. So a chance to put some points on the board and potentially catch the likes of Spurs and West Ham in the Premier League table. So we'll look forward to that in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.